You need to watch this if you've ever been behind in Scrabble, hoping to pull out a last-minute win. Today, we're diving into crucial endgame plays that can make or break your victory. Stay tuned to learn the secrets of late-game Scrabble strategy so you can win more games. Let's kick things off with a strategy that seems counterintuitive: getting rid of your high-scoring tiles. Holding on to these letters for too long can actually hurt you more than it helps. Those big high-point letters are ticking time bombs, valuable only if you can use them, but damaging if you have to deduct them from your score in the end. If you're stuck with a Q and a Z while the board is filling up, you're handing your opponent free points. We want to get rid of those high-value letters strategically, even if it means sacrificing a few points in the short term. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Now that you're a pro at ditching high-scoring tiles, let's talk about using the board to your advantage. Scrabble isn't just about making words, it's about controlling the game space. By strategically placing your tiles, you can cut off high-scoring opportunities like double-word and triple-letter spaces and leave your opponent fumbling for less valuable plays. It's incredibly satisfying to watch your opponent's plans crumble. Another important strategy to master is tracking tiles. Knowing how many tiles are left in the bag allows you to calculate probabilities and anticipate your opponent's moves. You don't necessarily have to know what every single remaining letter is, but keeping track of how many tiles remain and any high-point letters still unplayed like Q, Z, and X is a great place to start. The next tip to master is emptying your rack first. Sometimes the best defense is a good defense. By emptying your rack, you not only score the last points, but you also get the remaining points from your opponent's tiles and prevent them from taking another turn. Remember those high-scoring tiles we talked about ditching earlier? Now it's time to use that strategy against your opponent. By strategically blocking key spots, you can force your opponent to hold on to those point-heavy letters, making their life difficult. For example, if you know your opponent has the Q, try to block any open U's or other opportunities they can take advantage of. The age-old Scrabble dilemma: go for the big score now or make a strategic play that might pay off later. In the end of the game, it really comes down to context. Generally speaking, you want as many points as possible as quickly as possible. Because when there are only a few letters left, there is no guarantee you'll be able to make the play you're saving for. However, sometimes moves that block your opponent from scoring a huge win are worth compromising a few points. If you know you aren't able to refill your rack, it might also be smart to play a slightly lower scoring word to keep a balanced tile rack. For example, if you have the letters A, E, V, F, T, W, P, you might avoid using up both vowels so that it's easier to play a longer word as your very last move. Scrabble is a game of opportunity, and late-game hooks are one of the best opportunities you can come across. A simple S or Y can completely turn things around when you use them strategically. Try to find hook opportunities where you can spell multiple words perpendicular to one another and rack up the points from both words. This is always a great strategy in Scrabble, but even more important in the end of the game where board space may be limited and every point matters. When you're in the lead, the goal is to maintain that lead and prevent your opponent from catching up. It's smart to rapidly turn over your tiles or use up as many as possible. When you're behind, the opposite can be true. By minimizing your own tile turnover, you can effectively slow the game and give yourself more time to catch up. Leverage two-letter words to spell multiple short words parallel to one another to maximize your points while minimizing the number of tiles used. And there you have it. We've covered a lot of ground today, from ditching high-scoring liabilities to slowing the game down to your advantage. Scrabble is a game of strategy, and by applying these techniques, you'll dominate the competition. If you found these tips helpful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more Scrabble tips and strategies. And be sure to check out the recommended video, where we help you get ahead in the game early with smart first moves.